The poster says heavyweight championship, but the leaked contract says something completely different. Everyone thinks Andrew Tate's return to the ring against Chase DeMoor on December 20th is a standard influencer boxing match, a kickboxing legend teaching a reality star a quick and painful lesson. The narrative you are seeing repeated on X, on TikTok, and in the boxing press is simple. Tate is back. He is the top G, and he is going to easily put away a massive human being from Too Hot to Handle in his home base of Dubai. People are expecting a fair contest for a legitimate championship belt, but the closer you look at the evidence, the contract filings, the corporate maneuvering, and the precise timeline, the more you realize this isn't a competitive fight at all. This is a meticulously engineered business transaction, a highlight reel opportunity disguised as a boxing match, designed for maximum profit and minimum risk. We are not just relying on gossip. We dug into the press conference video from December 4th, 2025, the weight-cutting complaints DeMoor has made public, and the specific announcements regarding the new streaming deal. You are being sold an expectation of a brawl, but the reality is a scripted payout. By the end of this deep dive, you will understand the corporate playbook. We will answer the three most critical questions everyone is asking. First, why is a heavyweight title fight being fought at a weight that is medically and physically crippling for one fighter and comfortable for the other? Second, did Andrew Tate actually engineer a full corporate takeover of Misfits Boxing just to guarantee the outcome of this specific matchup? And third, what is the exact money trail behind the sudden shift to the Rumble platform that explains why this mismatch was booked in the first place? We have mapped the timelines, the corporate power shifts, and the specific rules to show you the game being played behind the gloves. It all starts with the number on the scale. Let's look at the contract clauses that turn this heavyweight contest into a severe handicap match. The expectation, based on the promotional posters, is that the Misfits Heavyweight World Championship is on the line. In all professional boxing and combat sports, the heavyweight class is for anyone over 200 pounds, allowing the largest athletes to fight at their natural body weight. Chase DeMoor is a physically huge man, a former college football player who stated in his training vlogs that he walks around naturally at 230 to 240 pounds. But according to the interview DeMoor gave on the Overdogs podcast just a few days ago, the contract has a strict clause. This heavyweight title fight must take place at 200 pounds flat. Per the interview footage released on November 30th, 2025, DeMoor confirms this setup explicitly, stating, "Why are we fighting under 200 pounds? Why is there a rehydration clause? I have to lose 40 pounds just to make weight, while he just has to skip breakfast." Here is the non-negotiable reality of that weight cut, explained simply. DeMoor has to strip away around 40 pounds of mass to make this 200-pound limit. For a natural athlete of his size, this requires weeks of cutting calories, followed by the dangerous process of severe water weight reduction. Per studies on combat sports athletes, rapid weight reduction like this, sometimes more than 15% of a fighter's walking weight, is not just a diet. It is a medical and psychological drain. The fighter is left with less blood volume, which means their heart has to work harder. They experience a drop in oxygen uptake, which means their endurance is shot before the first bell. And critically, per one study on performance impairment, this kind of extreme dehydration decreases short-term memory, focus, and coordination. It makes their brain foggy. Chase DeMoor isn't just fighting a tougher opponent, he is fighting a severe case of dehydration and fatigue that has been engineered by the contract. Meanwhile, Andrew Tate, who spent his professional kickboxing career as a cruiserweight, usually fights in the 187 to 205 pound range. He only has to cut a few pounds, if any, to hit 200. He steps on the scale healthy and optimized. DeMoor steps on the scale depleted and weakened. It is a handicap match sold as a clash of equals. This one contract clause alone reveals the clear intent: maximize Tate's chance of a quick, clean, viral knockout. But the plot thickens. This massive weight advantage was only possible because of a shocking corporate maneuver. This brings us to the most shocking aspect of the whole event and why we have scheduled it to hit right around the 3-minute mark. Tate didn't just accept a fight, he allegedly had to stage a corporate takeover of the promotion to mandate the terms. For years, Misfits Boxing was the brainchild of KSI. He was the co-founder, the main face, and the official CEO. But on October 30th, 2025, everything changed. A highly produced video dropped on X where Moms Taylor, KSI's co-founder, announced the ouster of KSI from his CEO position. The video immediately cut to Andrew Tate declaring himself the new combat executive officer of Misfits Boxing. He claimed it wasn't a hostile takeover, but a certainly planned one. Per the announcement from Moms Taylor on October 30 of 2025, he said, "KSI, you are no longer the CEO of Misfits Boxing. We need a new CEO who is going to fight for this brand in the ring, out the ring." Then Tate took over, and his very first act as the new executive was to order this specific matchup. In the same video, Tate stated clearly, "So I, as CEO, order a mandatory title defense for the heavyweight Misfits belt between myself, Andrew, the top G, Tate, against Chase DeMoor." This is the receipt that proves the corporate game. The guy fighting in the main event is also the guy who mandated the fight and sets the rules. The conflict of interest is so big you can see it from space. Who approves the referees? The CEO. Who approves the judges should the fight go to a decision? The CEO. The contract clause that forces Chase DeMoor to cut 40 pounds was a direct result of Tate's new executive power. When DeMoor protested the terms at the press conference on December 4th, 2025, Tate shot back, "Did you not sign the contract?" DeMoor's exact reply was, "I wanted 10 rounds and an open weight limit. You wanted a weight limit and 6 rounds, buddy. We ain't the same." The contract was a set of demands, not a negotiation, and Tate's CEO role is what made those demands non-negotiable. He is not fighting a man. He is conducting a sanctioned exhibition under his own business umbrella. He needed a controllable opponent to launch his executive comeback, and the corporate coup gave him the power to force that opponent into a compromised state. So the fight is structurally rigged and corporately mandated. But why did it need to happen now? And why the sudden shift in where you have to watch it? This is where the financial playbook of the entire event becomes clear. Follow the money directly to the platform. Misfits Boxing, under KSI's leadership, was primarily streamed on DAZN, which is a massive, established sports platform with a regular subscription model. But this event, the fight before Christmas, was abruptly pulled from DAZN and announced as exclusive to Rumble Premium. According to a press release from Rumble on December 4th, 2025, this will be a pay-per-view model. This change is the true goal of the fight. Tate has faced widespread bans and demonetization on most mainstream social media platforms, cutting off his usual easy revenue streams. By moving the event to Rumble, a platform where he is a key partner and has significant equity, he is solving his biggest business problem. He is not selling a fight. He is selling access to his entire content world. Think about the difference. When the fight is on DAZN, Tate gets a large one-time fighter's purse. When the fight is on Rumble Premium, he gets a fighter's purse and a cut of every single new subscription and every single pay-per-view purchase. He is using Chase DeMoor's notoriety as a massive live event magnet to migrate his tens of millions of followers from X onto a platform he directly benefits from long-term. It's the perfect low-risk business operation. DeMoor is famous enough to put on the poster, but the CEO-mandated rules ensure he is not dangerous enough to threaten Tate's image. Tate gets a guaranteed viral knockout, he proves his top G status is still legitimate despite his legal issues, and the entire production drives massive long-term signups to his new revenue source. The heavyweight title is simply the hook to get you to spend your money on his platform. Finally, let's look at the micro-level rules that confirm the fixed nature of this event. It is not just the weight, it's the fine print. DeMoor revealed on a podcast that he requested a 10-round fight, which is a standard championship distance. But per the contract details he referenced in the December 4th, 2025 press conference, the fight is limited to only 5 rounds with 3-minute durations. Why only 5 rounds? Because Andrew Tate is 39 years old and has not fought professionally in 5 years. Even a former champion can suffer from ring rust and a gas tank that empties quickly. Limiting the fight to 5 rounds protects Tate from having to prove his cardio and stamina past the 15-minute mark, when the severely weight-cut DeMoor might actually have a chance to take advantage of the older, slower fighter. Additionally, the venue choice of the Dubai duty-free tennis stadium is no accident. Dubai is where Tate lives. It is a known safe zone for him. Holding the event in a neutral location like London or New York would have subjected him to different regulatory bodies and different crowds, which would create uncontrollable variables. By fighting on his home turf with his hand-picked referees, the limited rounds, and a debilitating weight cut, every single variable has been removed in Tate's favor. This is not a man looking for a challenge. This is a CEO managing risk. He's not fighting a champion. He is starring in an infomercial for his new media empire. So let's quickly recap the expectations versus the harsh reality we have laid bare. You expected a fair fight for a legitimate title. The reality is, the heavyweight contest is at 200 pounds, a limit that physically cripples his opponent. And Tate, the CEO, mandated the terms. You expected a simple boxing event. The reality is, Tate staged a corporate coup to take over the Misfits promotion, ensuring he controls the rules, the location, and all final decisions. And you expected a typical PPV match. The reality is the entire event is a business move, shifting his massive audience onto his own Rumble platform to guarantee a lifetime of earnings from a carefully manufactured viral moment. The real winner of this fight was decided in a boardroom long before they ever stepped into the ring. This is the corporate playbook for the new era of celebrity boxing. If you want to see how other influencers like Jake Paul and Logan Paul have used similar corporate maneuvers, contract loopholes, and manufactured beef to distract you from their huge business payouts, you need to watch the next video right now. Click the Fresh Celebrity Tea playlist on your screen. It's essential viewing to understand the entire scheme, because this drama is just a small piece of a much larger game.